Ron, how's it going?
Good, man. How's everything? Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you. It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah, good minute.
Yeah. So before we started, I was gonna mention I wanted to talk to you. We're gonna talk obviously about the new Sons of Apollo coming out, and anything else in particular you want to talk about?
We could talk about the relaunch of the hot sauces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I would love to talk to you about is some of your charity work, if you don't mind.
Oh, we could. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what. I mean, there was the MS Research Foundation actually shut down because the guy who ran it, he had MS and it became too much for him.
Oh, did it? Okay.
So I just do a lot of different things now.
What about the Wildlife Trust of India? Are you still doing stuff with that?
You know, it's the kind of thing where you do little stuff here and there, and often it's just one-time things. Someone reaches out, so you do what you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not like this definite thing the way it used to be with MS Research Foundation, where it was like this one solid thing that I was a consistent part of always doing.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of random.
So what were you doing with the Wildlife of India?
Oh, that was so many years ago.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I can remember. Yeah. That was about 7 years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It
could just be doing things in support of, or raise awareness, or actually getting physically involved, making donations, anything like that. And there's been so many.
Yeah, because I was after we talked the last time I looked up, and I didn't realize your wife was a vet. And is she still a vet?
Yes.
Oh, does she? What does she? Does she have her own practice and stuff?
No, she never did her own practice, because then it becomes more about running the business, and she just really wants to just be a vet and do the work. So she works out of a bunch of different animal hospitals, and they call her in to do the surgeries, and she does trap neuter release programs, all kinds of things.
Oh, that's cool. Because the only reason I asked is because I when we talked last time, I told you I worked at the zoo in Salt Lake City, and and I didn't, and so I've done a lot of work with like Wildlife SOS, which is out of India. I've done a lot of different wildlife stuff and so it was kind of funny because I remembered that your wife was a vet, and so I was curious as to what kind of work she did. So.
Yeah, I mean, mostly in New Jersey, it's going to be a lot of small animal.
Yeah.
But she's done a lot of birds. She does dental work and knee surgeries, and a lot of things that often you have to go to a specialist. But she's a damn good surgeon. Yeah,
it sounds like it. If she's doing the knee surgeries, then yeah, she's got to be a good surgeon, because that's not easy.
No.
Well, then let's get started. So let me do a quick introduction, and then we'll get started.
Great.
Good day, Brutal Planet listeners. Today, I am joined and honored to be joined by Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Ron, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you. A pleasure. Always a pleasure.
So first off, I wanted to give you a big thank you. Our magazine has been just going for about a year now, and I call it a magazine, but it's not really a magazine. But I contacted you, and you were like one of the first persons to give us a nice shout out for the magazine. You did a little video promo for us, which was amazing. I wanted to give you a big thank you for that. So,
it's no problem at all. My pleasure.
And then the other thing I wanted to tell you too is you're the first person I've interviewed that is named after a bacterial infection. So.
So you haven't interviewed anthrax?
No, I have not. I have not interviewed anthrax. So this is a first for me. So.
Well, happy to be your first infection.
So it's funny because when I was telling people we were going to do the chat, they were like, "Oh, he must be really clumsy if he's named Bumblefoot," and it's like, "No, you just don't really know what it is." And for those of you who don't know what Bumblefoot is, go look it up. So.
Ulcerative photodermatitis.
Yes, exactly.
And it's the name it's really a band name. It's the name of my quirky, weird band. It used to be very Primus Zappa-esque type thing, and the name fit. And then after being the lead singer, lead guitar player, songwriter, frontman of the band, it just became like a nickname.
Yeah. So it works. I mean, it's a good catchy name. Not something you want to have though.
No. Enjoy from a distance.
Yes, exactly. So the new Sons of Apollo album 2020 is coming out on Friday the 17th, right?
Yes, I can't believe.
I know. And so our review just posted of the album, and it's a really good album in that, you know, you never know what to expect from a second album, because, you know, you just kind of, you go into things and, you know, the first one is going to be everything just wrapped up into one, and then you wonder where the second one's going to go, and it went great places. So what?
It's similar to the first.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe just the song parts are more definite. It's like, okay, here's a song, and then it'll break into some crazy, as I call it, boomer prog kind of moments, and those are very definitive as well.
So the Goodbye Divinity was the first track you guys released off of that. What made you decide to release that one?
You know, it just seemed like a good hey, here's our second album, here's the song to introduce you to it. It just seemed like that kind of song.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's a good upbeat one that just gets you going and wants you to just listen to more, basically.
Good, I hope so.
And then
it's the kind of thing where people who like this kind of music are going to like it. People who don't aren't, and that's how it is with anything, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the people who like this may not like Justin Bieber, but fans of Justin Bieber love Justin Bieber, and they probably wouldn't like this.
Yeah, probably not.
But that's fine. You know, you make music for those who like it, you don't not make it for those who don't. I could use a triple negative.
Exactly. So do you find, I mean, when you guys are doing it, do you find just a formula that works for you and then go with it? And then, I mean, what's the process like for you guys when you record?
Oh, it's really a simple process of we come up with riffs that we like ourselves, we bring them to the table, and then we just jam on them and expand on them, and by the end of the day, we have a song.
So it's not...
I'll come up with some grungy guitar riff, and Derek will come up with some kind of rainbow keyboard thing, and we just build on all of it.
Nice. Yeah. Nice, because there's a lot of diversity on the song, or the album, I should say, which is really nice, because like Desolate July is one of those just songs that has a really great sound to it, and Jeff's voice is really good for that one. And you know, then you move on to like New World Today, kind of has that keyboards like you were talking about and then, but one of my favorite songs is the King of Delusion, and I love your guitar work on that. I love that guitar work on that one. It has some good melodic sound to it. So,
and man, what a tough guitar solo in that song!
Is it really?
Oh my God, what did I do? I painted myself into such a corner with this album. Things I have to do with this hand over here and that hand over here, and juggling a bunch of chainsaws with this and a tambourine on my button.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot going on. But if it sounds seamless, then I guess I did it right.
So that was
like a struggle, then not.
So that's a song like it stuck out for me. So for you, it stuck out too because it was a solo that was a tough one to do for you then.
Yeah, some of the songs you're playing and you hit a spontaneous crazy thing, and then later you're like, oh wait, I have to reel in that spontaneity and be able to play it every night. And now something that you do in the moment is not so easy to do over and over and over when you're controlling it.
Yeah.
And thinking about it and trying to just, So that stuff is, I like spontaneous wackiness.
Yeah.
But very often, when you have to take that, play it night after night and learn it and practice it, that's a lot tougher.
Yeah, yeah. So
there's a lot of those moments on this record.
Are there any songs on the album that have specific meaning to you? Like a special meaning?
Well, definitely lyrically, Desolate July, because David Z, the person that the song is about, was a good friend to everyone, and everybody loved this guy, and it was a sudden, really just horrible death. And he was the bass player in Jeff's solo band, Soto. And, yeah, he was just a friend of everybody's, of ours, and about 2.5 years ago, out of nowhere, we got hit with some horrible, very unexpected news. Actually lost 2 friends in a, I don't know if you remember when the band Adrenaline Mob.
I do. Yep, I remember.
Yeah, well, he was the bass player of Adrenaline Mob. He was there, and as well as a friend of mine that was tour managing named Janet.
That was in Florida, wasn't it, when that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah,
mid-July.
Yeah. Huh. So, well, I mean, it's a good tribute. I mean, it's a really good tribute. It's a great song. So.
Yeah. The guy's very missed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, other than that, the album, like I said, the album is solid. So, do you have any plans for what you're going to play live? I mean, do you already have that worked out?
We'll play the whole album. We'll be playing all of it, plus most of the stuff from the first album.
Nice. And then...
Yeah, as much as we could squeeze into the time we're allotted.
And then you'll have some wackiness just jammed in there too, I'm sure.
I'm sure something's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, it usually does, like, you extend a part, or just sometimes live, certain parts of songs just build themselves into something else that you just fall into this groove of changing the song and doing something that's fun to do live.
Yeah. And speaking of live, you guys are hitting the road starting on the 23rd. And
yeah.
And I
mean, you got the tour coming up.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like you're ever stopping. I mean, you're going all over the damn world.
Collectively and individually, it never stops.
Yeah. So you're doing North America
for a couple of days, and then out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So you're doing North America, then you're doing Europe, and then you're doing South America, correct?
Yes, and then we'll see what happens from there. I'm sure it's not going to stop there.
Yeah. And then, do you guys have any festival plans for the year? Do you know?
I'm not sure. With festivals, you have to book those like a good year in advance.
Yeah.
So hopefully we could get on something somewhere.
Yeah. And then I'm sure during that you'll extend some tours, and so you're going to be a busy guy this year. It's safe to say 2020 is going to be a busy year for Ron.
Busy every year, yes. Doing good things, doing what I want to be doing and what I should be doing.
Yeah. So, and then I was going to ask you too about the Asia thing. How's that?
Yes.
How's that going?
Asia. Good. That was fun. That started off, and for those listening that don't know, the band Asia, heat of the moment, and only time will tell. I'm the new frontman. After vowing to myself that I will never be a replacement guy in someone else's band ever again, what do I go and do? But they're such sweet guys and such great music. And I started doing some gigs and music stuff with Jeff Downs, the keyboard player, about 4 years ago, and hit it off really well. So they asked me if I would join the band in 2017, but I was just getting Sons of Apollo started. I had another band I was in the middle of an album touring cycle with. It was just, I wasn't able to really do anything.
Yeah.
And then last year they had a tour coming, And it was going to be Yes, Asia, John Lodge of the Moody Blues, and Carl Palmer doing his ELP legacy band.
Yeah.
The music of ELP, plus Arthur Brown, the crazy world of Arthur Brown.
Wow.
From late 60s, that dude, I am the god of hellfire.
Yeah.
Because Carl was the drummer in Arthur's band when Carl was a teenager.
Okay.
So now Arthur Brown was a guest vocalist with Carl for his ELP thing that he's doing. And so it was a great tour, and they asked me if I would play guitar for it, and I was free in the summer, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then the singer that they had lined up wasn't able to do it, so they said, hey, why don't you do it? So I said, okay. And I just started practicing like crazy, going back and finding old guitar magazines to see what gear Steve Howe used so I could try and get similar sounds and things.
Yeah.
And then getting used to his guitar parts and the vocal parts and doing them simultaneously, coming from two different people, anchoring in different places in the song, and getting comfortable with that, and then pretty much changing the way I sing and getting my brain and body to default to a different approach so that it would stay in the same vibe as John Wetton sang. Because with him, the high notes were on different open sounds than I usually do. He didn't use a lot of vibrato, which I usually did. So I had to really teach myself a different way of singing and get comfortable with that. So I would be on stage, I would be changing guitar patches with my left foot, changing vocal patches with my right foot to get reverbs and different things, and playing two different people's parts at the same time. And trying to front the band and do all of that comfortably and just make it look like it's effortless. And if you practice enough, anything is.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just put in months of prep time to make sure that I would do it right, with the goal in the end that after we got off stage, if people were saying, oh, that really took me back, or, John Wetton would be proud, or anything like that, then I did it right. The goal for me was not to try and make it my own, put my own stamp on it, but to make people reminisce, to make people feel as good as they did in the early 80s when the band came out, and to make them feel that way again. And if I did that, then I did it right. And I just wanted to pay a good tribute to John Wetton, to Asia, and especially to the fans.
Yeah. Oh, and from the video footage I saw, I didn't see it actually live, but you did a really good job. And but the hard part for me was the footage I saw. You didn't have a guitar, so it was like,
yeah,
wow.
There was that. So for half the show, first half of the show, I'm playing guitar and singing, and then Steve Howe would come out and join us for the second half. So I would take off my guitar because the band was always a one guitarist band.
Yeah.
Steve wanted to keep it that way. So I was like, all right, I'm now the lead singer. And, it was definitely strange when you're playing with Guns N' Roses, playing an arena as the guitar player, and then a few years later, you're playing the same place with Asia as a lead singer.
Yeah.
It's like, how did those two things ever tie together? But, yeah.
But the interesting part to that is all of that you just described. When you were with Guns N' Roses, I didn't feel like you were ever trying to replace anybody in Guns N' Roses. You were just continuing the Guns N' Roses.
Well, yeah, with a band, when you're in that situation, you want to carry the torch.
Yeah.
You're not trying to change, and you don't want to rewrite history, you don't want to rewrite songs, you don't want to... the fans are there to hear the songs they love and the way they love them, and your goal should be to deliver to them that experience the best you can, collectively and individually and everything. So I think with Guns, there was a little more freedom to be yourself, and I don't think anybody was looking to be a cover band.
No.
in that sense. Like, I should say a tribute band. And it was looking to be a tribute band. Like, I think Axel wanted each person in that band because of who they were, not to imitate someone else. With Asia, you could say it's similar, but it's really strictly, the goal is, we're not trying to be a new era of the band with new music and all that kind of thing. It's like, here's the songs, and let's just play them the best we can and give people the best experience we can.
Yeah. And so was it awkward for you to be up there with no guitar?
It was liberating. I was 20
was it
pounds
really?
lighter. Literally, I was 20 pounds lighter because I didn't have that heavy double neck around my neck.
Oh, man.
It was fun. It was fun. And I could just focus more on the singing. And see, that was interesting, too, because I was never one for using in-ear monitors. But with that, I kind of had to.
Yeah.
And you sort of have to as a singer. But what I realized is that when you have in-ears in, you think you're singing on the note exactly, and you're actually a hair flat.
Oh,
and
really?
It happens to so many singers. I spoke to Tony Hartnell about it. It's like, how do you deal with this? Spoke to Jeff Scott Soto. How do you deal with this? And most people just say, you just have to keep one ear out.
Really?
Keep one of them out, keep one of them in.
Wow, that's even more
what's
work.
going on, and the other one so that you could truly gauge your perception properly.
And that all combined with playing a guitar plus playing pedals and all that kind of stuff, man, that's a lot of work.
Well, you put in the practice and
True.
It's not.
True. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you today about too was some of your charity work that you do, and one of the big ones that you do is with your hot sauce, right?
Hot sauce. Well, that one is not charity work. There was I originally rolled out a line of hot sauces in early 2013, 7 years ago, and almost to the day. And let's see, we rolled them out at Zest Fest, which is like a big food convention, and 3 of the 6 sauces won first place awards in this entire 2-3 day convention. We were definitely onto something. I was collaborating with a hot sauce company called Kjohns. Cajohns, kjohns.com.
Nice.
And they had been around for a good 20 years, and they were my manufacturer, my distributor, bottling, everything. And also collaborating in the kitchen, working with them, literally we were in the kitchen boiling berries and saying, no, these blueberries don't pop enough. Let's try cherries. That kind of stuff. So, there was one sauce called Bumble Babe. See, originally the sauces, I treated them more like a merch item where the artwork was pictures of me with my guitar, and they were named after different albums that fit, like Uncool.
Yeah.
Normal, Abnormal. There was one called Bumblelicious, one called Bumblefucked. And there was an offshoot of Bumblelicious that had chocolate in it that I called Bumble Babe.
Oh.
Because ladies love chocolate.
Yes.
So a chocolate cherry bourbon hot sauce called Bumble Babe. And any profits made from the sauce would go to women's health organizations, which sadly, to be honest, there were no real profits to speak of from the sauce, unfortunately. But the intention was there.
Yeah.
Just to be completely honest about that one. So now take it a few years later, and it's time to remanufacture, and Kjohns sold the company.
Oh, okay.
No. So I had to spend a year getting all the pieces into place, having my own food company, getting manufacturer, getting the distributor, getting everything lined up, finding resellers internationally, everything, and redesigning the bottle art as well to make it more about the experience and not just like this guitar player's merch item. So I took the 3 sauces that sold the best, the normal sauce, instead of calling it normal, that's really not describing the sauce. The sauce is an everyday, everything, all-purpose, delicious, goes perfectly with everything you can eat kind of sauce. So it's, you could say, a table sauce that you keep on the table morning, day, and night. You know, and people would send me pictures saying, "Hey, I'm having it on this." And I'll get good ideas of how people are using these sauces, how they're liking them. So this is a sauce that a lot of people put on their eggs in the morning. This is one that people were putting on Italian food because it had Mediterranean herbs and it paired up really well with Italian food. They used it on Mexican food as a tomato-based salsa-ish combination of ingredients in there. Thai food, Indian food, Korean food, Greek food, Lebanese food. I've seen people put this on everything. So I was trying to think of a name. I was like, everything sauce. Nah, not thing. That doesn't work for food. Everyday sauce. Yeah, but it's a little not very edgy or anything. And sauce is a little more bite than that. That's a little too tame of a name. And finally, it was on that tour, that Asia tour, for one of them, I was talking about the sauces with Arthur Brown's son who was visiting. He said, "Why don't you just call it the sauce?" I was like, you know what? Yeah. So that is what renamed the sauce.
Nice.
It's called the sauce because it is the sauce that you want to put on everything. It's like, pass me the sauce. Or you say, this is the sauce.
Nice.
So there's that one. And then Bumbleicious I kept, which is cherry, bourbon, chipotle, and it is so delicious. People drink it from the bottle. I've seen people doing it. It's a very zesty, thick, barbecue-y type sauce. And it goes great in stir-fry, goes great on chicken, on fish, on steak, and of course on all kinds of barbecue.
Nice.
And I always say, because it's so corny, it's more than delicious. It's Bumbleicious. And then I just want to smack myself for saying it. But there you go. So there's that one. And then the hottest one, which is actually the best seller of all, which you'd be surprised that's something that's so brutal, thermonuclear, just brutal heat. This one, it has ginger and tropical fruit. It has ginseng and caffeine, like an energy shot.
Yeah.
It has 4 million Scovilles of concentrated pepper immersed in it. And when you first touch it to your lips, your mouth, your tongue, everything goes numb and tingly like Novocaine.
Wow.
And after 10 seconds, exactly 10 seconds, you can time it with a watch. It suddenly, after 10 seconds, feels like someone opened up an oven door in the back of your throat. And it's just, and that feeling just takes over your whole body. And after a minute, you're just doing this slow pacing and slow, heavy, deep breathing. And the name of that sauce is Bumblefucked. And everyone says the same thing. It's like, wow, it lives up to its name. I feel like I just got Bumblefucked.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is, and still is doing phenomenally. That's the best sauce of them all. That one does really well. And a little goes a long way. And I tell people, just a dot. Not even a drop, but a dot.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they're on fire from it. So if you like really intense sauce, that's the one. Bumblefucked.
And these are all online, right? You can get these all online?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So now the distributor I got, he's the one that bought K-John's line of hot sauces. So to keep things as they started in the family, was selling them at kjohns.com still. So they're there. But there is a short, easy link to get them. So what you do is the word post and put a dot in the middle, po.st /hot sauce.
Oh, okay. All right.
po.st/hot sauce.
So everybody check this out.
The K-John's page with the search filter on, that'll show you those 3 sauces.
Nice. It sounds like you have your choices. Whatever is your flavor, you got it. So.
Yes, a mild, everything, all-purpose, delicious sauce, a barbecue-y one, and both of those are pretty mild.
Yeah.
They have a nice roasted, peppery kick to them both, and then if you want real serious heat, Bumblefoot. And I will have them on tour with me.
Oh, you're going to have them on the Sons of Apollo tour?
Oh, yeah, there's
Nice.
a whole bunch being shipped over to the rehearsal room right now.
Are there? Okay, good. Good. So everybody that goes to the Sons of Apollo tour, you can get that sauce, and you can go out to dinner afterwards, and you can use the sauce.
Yes!
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
I want everyone to use the sauce, enjoy the sauce, to send me pictures of how they're using it, and I love just sharing everyone's photos, and yeah, it's my other passion.
Yeah. And you put a lot of work into it. It sounds like just by testing and, research and all that kind of stuff too. So.
Oh yeah. It's like anything, like music. It's the same. You want to make sure that you're giving the world the best version of what it is that you can possibly give.
Yeah. Well, Ron, I appreciate the time, and you guys are hitting Salt Lake City next week, and I am so excited for this show. And
You're going to be there, yes.
I am going to be there. Yes.
Wonderful.
And so I was looking forward to seeing the show, and it's in a great venue too. I mean, it's not a little venue, but it's a great venue. I've seen Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes. He's played there, and so
cool.
It's got some really, really cool history to it too. So it'll be a fun little venue for it to see you guys at. So.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So everybody check out the new album this Friday, 2020, by Sons of Apollo. Check out Ron's fire sauces, and while you're at the show, buy some fire sauces. So.
And the shows, yes, if you go to sonsofapollo.com or even go to bumblefoot.com, you will get all the list of shows and all the info.
Yes, perfect. So thank you again, Ron, and I appreciate it.
My pleasure.